Meg, can we please have a one-word romantic-themed prompt?
Chocolate.
Chocolate. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, we've talked about that, like, milk chocolate is just like garbage, right? Like, I don't... I think if I spent the rest of my life never having milk chocolate again, I'd be fine.
I've eaten so much dark chocolate at this point that anytime I go back to milk chocolate, I'm like, where's this sugary crap? So awful.
Yeah, exactly. It's way too sweet.
Hang on one second. Hey, welcome to the Overtalking Podcast with your hosts, Ken and CJ. Say hi, CJ.
Hi, CJ!
This is the romantic movie show where we only talk about rom-coms. And that's it for the month of February. But also that part isn't even true. It's Date Movie Month, an Overtalking Podcast.
That's right. I'm glad our guest is also creeped out by that voice. Even she does not enjoy you doing that.
It's not a real voice I use in real life.
I'd hope not.
No. Should we bring her on? This week we're joined by my sweetie, Meg. Welcome back, Meg.
Hi, Meg.
Hi.
Yeah, nobody enjoys the sweetie part either.
Not to say sweetie. Yeah, I just
no one seems to enjoy that. You're also maybe known as my fiance this year.
That's right. Wow.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
so
a
your
weird
first
word
time
too.
on since I proposed.
I think so. Yep.
Wow.
We're all fiancéed up. All of us.
That's right.
It's still a stupid word. I don't like using it.
Dumb.
But
Yeah. I don't like it.
I prefer future wife is better than fiance.
I like old ball and chain.
Yeah, great.
Future old ball and chain.
Yeah, I feel like, and sweetie is only used like in a condescending way. You're just like, oh, sweetie, you're good at other things.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that's the feel of it, or I don't like it. So.
Yeah, no, that's not good.
I don't know. It's show canon now, so everyone's.
That's
everyone's
unfortunate.
sweetie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you guys gotten any like Valentine's Day specific candy or chocolates? I think ours is just the usual.
No.
What do you mean gotten? Like this year?
Like purchased.
Well, I don't know. It's spoilers.
Oh, okay, sorry.
I can't say. She's on this podcast.
Oh, did you give me heart-shaped chocolates, Kenneth?
I can't tell you. It's a surprise.
I hope it's one piece of chocolate that's like a foot high. Like,
I guess we're peeling back the curtain a little bit. This was recorded prior to Valentine's Day.
That's right. Yeah. We're in the past.
So it's still in the lead up. I can't divulge.
Oh, should we
anything.
pretend to be in the future? Ken, thanks for the insert what you got me. Thing that you got. Thank you for that.
Chocolate.
Right?
Oh, you're welcome. Chocolate.
I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, and Meg, you had a
Milk
wonderful
chocolate
birthday.
that you got me.
Thank you for the present you got me. I can use it every day. Is that good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And thank
because
you
the present
for
was words
the
of affirmation.
Card.
Yeah.
That one's probably fine.
That's accurate. Yeah.
Do you guys get each other cards?
We do. Yeah.
Nice.
I get so many cards for Meg because it's also her birthday.
That's right.
On Valentine's Day. And then also we have kind of a running gag where our dog Bailey also gets Meg a card.
I like that.
So
it's like a Santa kind of thing. This one's from Bailey. Yeah.
Last year, I think Ken found one because Bailey, and anytime we voice Bailey, which is often, she refers to us as Mama and Papa. And so Ken found a card that was in Espanol that was to Mama, and I was like dying. It was the greatest thing ever. I was just like, how does she know Spanish?
She's worldly.
So yeah, that's
I was expecting the cards you would open it and it just says like bark rough bark 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 love Bailey.
Pretty sure that's happened. Definitely write it like Bailey writes it. And it's pretty messy,
right.
So it's kind of like she doesn't really know how to write that
she
well.
has a hard time holding the pen.
So it's very accurate to if she were.
Hey, yeah, no judgment here. I have messy handwriting too. That's okay.
Yeah,
we're not all perfect.
Fun. Yeah, do you not get cards for your sweetie?
I honestly,
sweetie.
I'm trying to remember if I have or not. We get each other like a tiny gift, like nothing extravagant, because my birthday is right around the corner as well, and I'm all right. Yeah, Emily's been asking me like, "What do you want for your birthday?" It's like, nothing. I don't know. It's fine. Like, let's get dinner. I'm cool with that. I don't know. But that being said, I might buy myself something, like probably a fun new like audio toy or something.
Audio toy.
Yeah, do we want to get into it? Can I nerd out about like audio stuff?
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know what that could mean.
Yeah. The little the red box you've maybe not seen, or it's what I use to input the microphones when we do like in-person records. The volume knob is a little like iffy, so like if you try to adjust it, one of the headphones will go out. Like the stereo is twitchy. So I want to get a new one so it's not like as sensitive and works better.
You know what? If you're going to get a new one, you should look for one that has a USB input as well.
Yeah, I know. Yep. Yeah, exactly. And I'm thinking this one only has 2 inputs, and I'm wondering if I should upgrade to like 4 inputs.
Oh, yeah. That would make our big recordings easier.
Yeah, exactly. Because I feel like if I would maybe be fine with another 2 input one, but I know then like months from now, there's going to be like one occasion where I'll want 4 and I'll be kicking myself that I didn't just get like a 4 input one.
Well, can't you still kind of use the one that's kind of works?
Yeah, it still works fine.
So then you could use 4 that way if you do end up getting another 2.
True. That's a lot. I'd rather just get one that handles all of it.
Sure, yeah. Let's just spend all the money. Let's just do it.
I mean, most importantly, what color is it going to come in? Like, is there like options for color? Because I mean, I feel like that's the most important thing out of all those things that you said.
The one I've got my eye on is actually a different brand, so it'll be sort of white, but it has like a wood finish on the sides of it. And it has like a digital display, so you can see the like volume, whether or not people are peaking and stuff.
Fancy and pretty.
Yeah.
So no one can sneak up on you.
Right.
You can see if people are peeking in or not. That's nice.
Yeah.
Wow, this device does it all.
Walked over to Guitar Center and was asking one of the audio nerds that work there. And he's like, oh, yeah, you got to go with this one. This one's better, blah, blah, blah. It's like, you said a lot of words that I don't understand, but I trust your judgment.
Oh, man. Is he upselling you? Did he just sell you the like latest, best thing? And you're just like, yeah, give it to me. It's pretty.
I think they are roughly the same price, which is good. So I don't think he was trying to like, That's and good. I flat out was like, hey, look, I'm only familiar with this very one specific one. I have never heard of any of these other brands. Like, what is your favorite? And then he was like, oh, yeah, I like this one.
Yeah, you're a sucker.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna get him. He doesn't know anything.
So would you say that he proposed that one
oh, boy.
option to you?
Yeah, I would.
Yeah? Okay, that's good. Segue. Well, so yeah, it was kind of like a proposal, like the movie that we watched this week.
Oh my God! Wow!
What?
Wow.
That's crazy that kind of worked out that way.
Synchronicity.
I know. So yeah, we're gonna take a quick break, and we'll be right back, and we'll talk about The Proposal and more on the Overtalking Podcast.
So your family?
Yes.
They tell you to quit?
Every single day. Margaret Tate's office.
Margaret, your visa application is denied. You're being deported.
Deported? It's not like I'm an immigrant or something. I'm from Canada.
If you're deported, you can't work for an American company.
If there was any way at all that we could make this thing work.
There is something that you should know. We're getting married.
Who is getting married?
You and I are getting married. Yes.
We are.
Getting married.
We are getting married.
Yes. Can't fight a love like ours. So, are we good?
And we're back on the Overtalking Podcast, joined once again by my sweetie, Meg. And we're talking about The Proposal with Ryan Reynolds and Sandy Bullock.
Sandy Bullock.
Sandy.
Good old
Meg,
Sandy.
we're going to put 30 seconds on the clock for you to describe for someone who's never heard or seen the movie The Proposal, what it is all about.
Ready, go.
Sandy Bullock is a very tough business lady, and she has an assistant, and it's Ryan Reynolds, and she finds out from her higher-ups that she's going to be deported back to Canada, so she comes up with this crazy scheme to marry her assistant who hates her, and they end up going to his hometown for some reason. Oh, for a birthday. And do they fall in love? Do they just
Time.
not? Hilarity doesn't really ensue. So,
Okay, thank you.
yeah.
Hilarity ensued a little bit.
A little
A tiny bit.
A very, very small amount. For it to be called a rom-com, there was very little com.
There was some com. I was laughing out loud at a couple.
Some light calm.
Yeah, I'm
We'll
glad they
get to that
shortened
in a
it to
second.
com, not comedy, because
Yeah.
it is very small com.
A lowercase
No
c
time.
calm.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Now, can we all agree that this is a Republican's nightmare of a movie?
Yeah.
All the illegals are getting green cards and taking American jobs.
Scamming the system.
Would you also say that Sandy Bullock is a girl boss?
Oh, yeah. Yas, Queen snaps. Snaps.
Just boss is fine.
Yeah.
You know?
She's
we don't
serving
have to
boss.
label it- She's serving boss. She's serving boss realness with her Louboutin red bottoms.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. She's just boss. Scary boss. And Ryan Reynolds is just himself in this movie, I think.
A bit,
Every
yeah.
movie.
Pretty
Now,
ironic,
Mick, why
too,
did-
that he's Canadian, but
Absolutely.
Sandy's the one getting deported.
I know, right?
That's, I think, the first thing that Ken said when we were watching this. You're like, but Ryan Reynolds is Canadian. It's like,
I think I
know.
said jokes on her. He's also Canadian.
And they got
That's not
close.
gonna
He's from
work.
Alaska. Like, pretty
Yeah.
close.
Pretty close. Now, Meg, why did you choose this movie for a date movie month?
So Emily's movie that she picked was
Shockingly.
when Ken told me, he was saying that it was a different movie. He was confused. And so he was like, it's the movie we saw a promo for, which was Sandy Bullock and Channing Tatum in some weird rom-com that was like newer.
I've seen that
And
one.
I thought, or maybe I got confused. I'm not sure who got confused, but I thought
think
it
we
was that
both
one.
did. Yeah.
We were like, it's this movie. Interesting. Okay. And then Ken was like, no, wait. It's this movie. So I was like, oh, I should watch the movie I was thinking of with Channing Tatum and Sandy Bullock. Like, that would be funny. I've not seen it. Maybe it's terrible. Maybe it's good. It's probably terrible. Let's find out. And then as I was like looking it up on IMDb, I saw The Proposal, and I remember that movie being decent and maybe something we could talk about. So I chose that one.
The Lost City is that
That's
Sandy
it.
Bullock, Channing Tatum one.
Yes. Exactly.
Yeah. I forgot what movie we're probably a couple movies we were in the theater and saw a trailer for that. And we're like, this is garbage, but it's kind of looks funny. So I might still watch.
Yeah.
We'll watch it at some point.
Yeah, I watched it. It's entertaining. It's fun.
Oh,
yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's how I got here. I'm sorry I didn't choose the other movie. I feel like that one might have been better because this one was a little hokey at times.
What? What are you talking about? This movie was hilarious through and through.
You were making
No.
fun of it, sir. You
Good.
were mocking it the whole time to the
Not the
point where I
whole
had to lecture you to stop and just watch the movie.
All right. Well, there's one part in particular that is I had a very hard time holding my tongue because I had started mocking it, and that's when you said stop, and
Let's hear
then
it.
I just was going red in my face.
I think we're all
so-
thinking it right now.
We are all thinking it. So eventually, Ryan Reynolds takes Sandy Bullock back to meet his family before they have to take this interview test, basically, to confirm that they are a real couple, which of course they are not. And so he goes back to meet his family, and he introduces her as his fiance, and yada, yada, yada. One of his family members is this 90-year-old grandma named Gam Gam, I think, right?
Gammy.
Gammy?
Played by none
Betty
other
White.
than Betty
Played by-
White.
Yeah.
Betty White, exactly. And I have no idea why this scene is in this movie, but at one point, Sandy Bullock is, for some reason, bike riding through the forest.
I would label it panic riding because for
Panic
some
riding,
reason
yeah.
she was like in the middle of some sort of panic spiral and then decided to go ride a bike through the woods. Not
Yeah.
really sure.
I don't know.
Bold choice.
That alone was just strange to me, and I didn't really understand what was going on. And then she comes across Betty White in the weirdest outfit I've ever seen, with like this weird bird headband thing. She has a bonfire going and a boombox playing some sort of music, and she's dancing around the fire. and giving praise, I think was the term used. And very quickly, Sandy Bullock joins in and starts singing Balls.
That's not the name of the song.
What is the name of that song? The sweat dropped on my ball. Oh, these.
Yeah, it's definitely not called Balls. Nobody
It's
has
not
named a
called
song
Balls.
Skeet, skeet,
Balls.
motherfucker. Like, what is it called? I don't know. You know the song anyway.
Yes.
She
Get Low.
dances. Get low.
Get
That's
low.
it.
Get low.
That's definitely it.
Yeah. That's the
And
one.
it's very awkward. And just thinking about it makes me cringe. CJ, is that the scene you thought I was talking about?
No, the one that came to mind was when they run into each other naked. And I mean, literally run into each other. Physically.
That was a little more classic rom-com, I feel like.
hit each other.
Oh, the setup to get them both naked at the same time, but not know each other were in the room,
Yeah.
was just absolutely would never happen ever.
Yeah.
And that
The
was
writers
so
were
dumb.
bending over backwards to make
Absolutely.
yeah.
that happen.
For some reason, she had a fear of that little dog and was so afraid of it that she couldn't just like step over it. So
Right.
she was trapped in the bathroom naked. And yeah,
And Ryan Reynolds starts undressing like on the deck
Outside.
outside of,
In public, basically.
yeah, in this bedroom that is like only has windows for walls, like so you can see into it so easily. And he's like, "Well, now's a good time as any to just start stripping to head into the shower."
he had music blasting from an old iPod, which I miss that so much.
With the
I
wheel.
like how he
hear her.
I like how he was able to get completely naked without once removing the earbuds from his ears,
yeah,
so that he couldn't hear her at
Yeah,
all.
pop that shirt off, and I guess you like put the iPod with the headphones down your shirt first, so that it doesn't disrupt it. He was really into that music.
yeah.
Wonder what it was.
I'm sure it was Balls.
That's not the name of this song, my dude. Yeah, so they slammed into each other naked, and that was like, oh, so funny.
It was probably
That's what she
Rob
got
Bass and DJ Easy Rock.
That's
Oh,
I want to
yeah.
rock, right? Yeah, that's probably it.
I want to rock right now. I'm Rob Bass and I came to get
Which,
down.
in the movie, Sandy Bullock says that was her first concert she ever attended.
Probably a fun
They
one.
sing it together. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're against the running into each other naked. We're against the chanting and singing in the woods for some reason.
Hard against that.
Ken was very against trying to feed a puppy to an eagle. He was very upset at that. Actually, I think you were more surprised why I was okay watching a movie that would do that to a dog. But I knew the
That's
outcome.
exactly
so,
what it was.
Yeah, I knew the
I was
outcome.
like, why would you want to do this? The dog is going to get eaten. Dog was okay.
Dog was
Yeah.
okay.
It does get scooped up by like a vulture or whatever that is.
Whatever
but yeah.
that was, yeah.
Literally gets carried away at one point.
Yeah.
Very scary.
She
not for the
chucks
faint of
her
heart.
cell phone at it or something.
Oh, yeah.
Saves
Let
the
it take your cell
dog.
phone.
And
Yeah.
then she tries to feed it back to the eagle because she wants her phone more. Classic.
Yeah.
Now, when she was on the phone call in that scene, she was trying to convince one of her clients to go on Oprah, and he was trying to back out. Did we ever get closure to that plot line? Did he end up on
I don't think
Oprah?
so.
Completely left in the dust.
Man.
We'll never know.
Yeah.
God.
Who
Biggest
knows?
cliffhanger of that movie.
Really.
Hopefully someday they'll make a sequel. And
They
we'll
were
get
in
the
talks
answer.
of making a sequel. Yeah, it never
Really?
happened.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know who passed on that golden opportunity, but yeah, no sequel.
I think the best part of the movie is just the credit sequence. I think that was the funniest part to me. Was like the movie is over, the credits are rolling, but they're still like showing part of the movie. It's them back at the immigration office, but now they want to get married for real, and the immigration officer is like quizzing them. I think that was the funniest part.
That definitely
That's
got
good.
a couple more laughs out of me. There were a couple answers that were just dumb, and I was like, okay, I kind of want the movie to be over now, but a few
A little
of
too
the-
long, yeah.
A little bit, yeah.
Now, CJ, how did you feel about, and I don't know this guy's name, but he's the guy from The Office. Oscar from
Ramon.
The Office. Ramon.
How did I feel about what?
Did you like when he was
did you like
stripping?
his
Did you like
character?
the show? Did you wish that you would be there getting a lap dance from Ramon?
Yeah, who knew that guy has like a six-pack? He's very good looking under that shirt. Oscar Nunez? Mm-hmm. Yeah, you get a lap dance for that guy. He was fun. He had a very positive attitude. I would love to be that guy's friend. He just seems like cheery all the time.
He was like hardcore hitting on Sandra Bullock, right? Was that just me?
He's giving like a lap dance. What do you expect?
I mean, like after that.
Oh, yeah.
And all
Maybe
of his
he's
other
just very
various
friendly.
jobs.
Yeah.
He also
Overly
shoved
friendly.
that food down our throat at the beginning.
Yeah,
of the
maybe
movie,
that part
too.
I would have. Yeah, I wouldn't have liked that if somebody, some caterer walking around a party was like, "No, have it," and shoved food in my mouth. Yeah, then I would not like them.
I thought for sure she was going to have an allergic reaction at that point because, like, not 5 minutes earlier, they shared that Sandra Bullock has a tree nut allergy, which was a setup that never got paid off.
Yeah,
No, I mean, I know why they were saying it, like quizzing each other, but I totally thought something would have come out of that.
that would have been better. Yeah, if all of a sudden her like eye or lips like swell up or something, some physical comedy.
Like all of those questions kind of led nowhere. Like they were quizzing each other on the plane. Oh, how many siblings do you have? Blah blah blah. But it would have been so much better if, like, at the end, yeah, she did eat an hors d'oeuvre and started choking or something, and he was like, "Oh, she's allergic to whatever," and the knowledge seeped in a little bit more. I would think they might have been trying to do that at some points, but it didn't really go anywhere. It's like you know stuff about her because you've been working for her, or if she learned something special, I don't really think they did.
Yeah, no
Spoiler, they
payoff at all.
actually do fall in love for some reason. I don't. Yeah, because they, have a deep conversation with each other. Like, okay.
Yeah,
cool.
one meaningful conversation.
Oh,
No. So there's one part of this movie that is my favorite part, which is after a very strange scene where Betty White fakes her own death.
Fakes a heart attack.
Fakes a heart attack just to get the father and son, Ryan Reynolds, to stop fighting. They get off that plane, and Ryan Reynolds is trying to catch Sandra Bullock's plane because she is being effectively taken back to New York to be deported. Spoilers. The mom and the grandma are like, yeah, well, he needs to tell her that he loves her because, and so that she can tell him she loves him. And the dad's just like, but I don't. Am I the only one that doesn't quite make sense to? Like, there's not enough justification in this movie for that to have been the case, but okay. So I thought it was funny that at least one character in the movie was as confused as I was about how we got there.
Playing the role of the audience watching this movie.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't get why they would want to be together at the end of this. Like, if anything, maybe then she's like less of a mean boss in the future. But yeah, to all of a sudden be like, no, let's get married. It's like, no.
Oh, actually, yeah, that is a good idea. Let's just do that. Okay.
yeah.
Ignoring
I
the
wasn't
3 years of
just-
pain.
Yeah, I wasn't just your assistant who complained about you all the time and hated your guts. I was secretly, actually, I didn't know it, falling in love with you.
Until right now.
What?
Yeah.
No.
Come on.
No.
Just days earlier, I messaged the entire office that the witch is on her broom when you left your office. But now
That was
I'm madly in
Thursday.
love. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is Sunday. I'm different now.
Right.
There's a woman in this movie and there's a man in this movie. And they,
Yeah.
by God, they need to be together at the end of this movie. That's what a rom-com is.
Yeah. Now kiss. You guys have to.
Mush your faces.
Yeah.
Literally, the writers are holding their two heads and shoving
Yes.
them close together. Be like, okay, you will. Yes. Good.
I was at least glad that they didn't she admits to the wedding being like a fraud during the ceremony, and the immigration officer guy is there in Alaska, and then so them two head to the airport to like go back to New York and pack her things. I was at least glad that they weren't able to like stop her from getting on the plane. Because one, then the officer would just be like, well, no, I don't care. She's still going to get deported. Like, I don't give a shit what you guys think. So that was at least funny that they got to the airport and Ryan Reynolds calls in a favor to like the friend that's in the control tower. And he's like, yeah, I can't stop a plane. Like, I don't have that power. Like, they're already on the runway taking off. So I was at least glad about that. But then, yeah, I don't know, to then rush into the office and be like, you're panting. He's like, yeah, I was running. It's like, come on. How long of a flight is that? Like, you guys wouldn't line up exactly like this. Yeah, ridiculous.
And that was such, I don't know how people handle things in their workplace, but that was such an inappropriate workplace thing. Oh my gosh. That was so inappropriate. I was like, oh my God, go somewhere else. Stop. Everyone in the office is watching him be like, shut up. I love you. And that must have been a huge shock to them too. Like,
your closed door office is 5 feet away. Just go in there and have that conversation.
Right. Everyone's like clutching their heart. Oh, how sweet. It's like, wait, what the hell just happened? You guys hated each other 2 days ago.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
For 3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. What?
3 years.
Wow.
And most of the office still hates her.
Yes.
Yeah, they don't care about her. They don't want to see her happy. They hate her. I guess seeing Ryan Reynolds' naked body or being pressed up against it might, make anyone change their tune.
Yeah, so. I guess that would make me love him too.
I would not be mad. That's understandable.
Yeah. Agreed.
Powerless. Yeah. So,
I don't know why he didn't have his shirt off when he was hacking at that canoe too. It's like, dude, you're getting sweaty. Just pop that bad boy off.
Seriously, it looks hot, Just make yourself a little more comfortable.
Yeah.
I'm actually mad at how clothed he was for most of this movie. It was pretty upsetting. Isn't this a movie for, for our eyes?
Yeah. It's a big chunk of why you're in this movie, I have to assume, is you're very handsome.
What else is there,
Yeah.
Am I the only one who felt kind of bad for Gert? Just a little bad for Gert, who was the ex-girlfriend of Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, yeah.
In this movie.
Yes.
Gert.
What a name.
Great name.
Her
Gertrude,
role
I assume, but to then shorten it to Gert is maybe not.
Gert.
She really made no impact on the movie whatsoever. Like, they could have taken
really.
her role out completely and it would have been fine.
Yeah, I was expecting, which, by the way, this was my first time watching this movie. I definitely was expecting then Sandra Bullock to get more jealous. Like, he's sneaking away to actually spend time with her and be like, oh, maybe I made a mistake and I should be like, this whole scam wedding is making me realize that the ex-girlfriend is actually the real one that I should fall in love with and blah, blah, blah. But like, nope. They have one conversation. And that's it. Like, so many missed opportunities in this movie.
I fully expected it to go that route. And they almost kind of hint that might be where it's going, but it just never really gets there. And
no, they show them having one conversation, because they bumped into each other out in the town or something like that. I thought there would be more of a hint of like, oh, maybe he still has feelings for her, because she said this story about how, he proposed to her. She didn't want to get married. And I thought like maybe there would be some of that. And no, like, again, another thing that they introduced that absolutely didn't pay off whatsoever.
Realistically, it's probably for the best, because it's already so unbelievable of how Sandra Bullock and Ryan Reynolds actually end up together at the end of the movie, that if they had introduced that on top of everything, that it just would have been like, well, why?
Yeah.
Maybe they had that story going on, and then like they're like, no, that wouldn't give us enough time for Betty White's scene in the woods. So like, we got to cut out some stories so we can put in this really funny moment, because people love Betty White, like, absolutely, but
sure.
Come on, don't diminish her by just making her chant like crazy. Like, we have to give praise. That's so weird. Like, that doesn't make any sense with you.
Cut? It is not integral to the story
not at all.
or anything. That scene should have been cut.
So dumb.
Really.
I don't know.
I'm surprised that this movie has a runtime of an hour 48, because it feels like it's like 60 minutes long. Because like there's barely a plot, and there's like It's weird. So I'm so curious what they actually did end up cutting to even get this runtime.
Yeah.
Or, you know what? Maybe it was so short that they're like, let's throw in an extra extra Betty White scene, or let's try to feed this dog to an eagle. Like they just added stupid shit because they couldn't even get up to, like, they're like, oh, this is a TV movie. We need to add a couple other things to make it feature length. I don't know.
It's weird.
It was not good.
Okay, good.
Sorry,
I'm glad we all agree that. I was like,
I
oh,
don't
is this one of
agree.
Meg's
This movie
favorite?
is-
That's funny.
No, not a favorite. Not a favorite. I'm not a rom-com person. That's not really what I like to watch. And especially living with Ken, we mostly watch horror movies, to which I've grown to enjoy some of them depending on, what the focus is in the movie. But yeah, I was like, I've definitely seen this movie once before. Let's see what, that was in 2009 when it came out. Let's see how it holds up now. Like, oh, no, that's not how love works. Like, that's not real. This is so dumb. So
I think
not the
I
same.
think y'all liked it less than me, but maybe we'll get to
Definitely.
that when we get around to ratings. But maybe in the meantime, we can do a little bit of trivia. So maybe it's time for... Hey, did you know that? That's right. This is the part of the show where we usually pit our guests in CJ head-to-head to see who knows the most about what we watched. But Meg was nice enough this week to do the trivia. And this week, CJ, it's going to be you and me, buddy. We're going head-to-head.
Wow.
Yeah. Meg's running trivia.
Let's do it.
Get ready. Get those brains warmed up.
I'm excited.
All right. Welcome to trivia. First question. Just shout out the answer, I guess. Where does Andrew's family live?
Alaska.
But I can't remember the city.
I'm looking for the city.
Cecil or something like that. Cecil.
Isn't that that's a person's name,
That's
right?
Cecily Strong.
It's Sitka. You're both wrong.
I was close.
You had an S. You're there, but you
Yeah.
don't get a point for being close.
Cecily is strong.
Next question. What is the name of that cute little puppy?
Kevin.
Kevin is correct.
Kevin.
Kevin the puppy.
It's a great dog name.
I just want to talk about Kevin for a second. I love during the end credits scene where Betty White is holding Kevin. And she's like, yeah, we can't even say Margaret's name around Kevin anymore. Because watch, Kevin. And then the dog barks. And she does it a couple times more and the dog barks. So funny.
Yeah, I wish that was actually more of the movie and not just end credits, because that was kind of funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next question. Multiple choice. Kevin, the dog, was played by 4 different dogs. What are their names? Is it A,
Love this question.
Snowflake, Balto, Juno, and Storm? B,
Ooh.
Diesel, Mac, Yodel, and Duchess?
That cannot be it.
C, Flurry, Sitka, Nanu, and Winter? Or is it D, Chase, Yukon, Coconut, and Steve?
So
Wow.
wait, one of the names is the name of the town that the movie is set in?
All of them. There's Juneau, Yukon. Those are all places.
Yeah. Do you
and
know the capital?
That's-
of Alaska?
So wait, maybe I misunderstood the question. These are the names of the dogs?
the
real
dogs that
life.
played Kevin.
Okay.
There was 4 different dogs.
Yeah.
What were
Okay.
their names?
Don't pretend like that isn't weird that one of the dogs' names is the name of the town in Alaska that the movie is set in.
These are they're Eskimo dog. They're like, these are the brand of dog.
Yeah.
This is the kind of
But it's
dogs
the
that they are.
brand of-
These are common
Well, yeah, but it
names
doesn't
for these
necessarily
kind
mean
of
that
dogs.
their names are going to be the name
Right.
of the
What does
town.
Steve
Is that even a
have
real
to do with
town?
anything?
That's probably not even a real town name.
Oh my God, go get a
Juneau?
map.
No, not
The
Juneau,
capital of
Sitka.
Alaska?
Sitka's a real place, my dude.
Is it really?
No, they
No,
made it up
Anchorage?
for the movie.
I,
Of course, it's a real place. It's a real place. Yeah.
okay.
All right, stop dodging the question. Which set of dog names do you pick? A, B, or C?
Or D. Is D not? D's not it.
Oh, D's one too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Which one had
Wait.
Diesel?
That's B. Diesel, Mac, Yodel, and Duchess.
I'm going with D. I like Steve being one of them.
Ken, are
I'm
you
going with
B?
A, actually.
A, Snowflake, Balto, Juno, and Storm? You guys are
Fuck,
wrong.
those are- yeah.
Wrong. It was C, Flurry, Sitka, Nanu, and Winter.
What?
Yeah, ironically, one of the
That's
dogs
why
was
you're
actually named.
defending it so much.
Yeah, you should have
Wow.
known.
They're all like, yeah, white. That makes sense.
Diesel, Mac, Yodel, and Duchess were all the names of the dogs in Snow Dogs, which I also really want to watch again. I don't know why. I keep bringing it up, and I really want to watch Snow Dogs. So those are all real dog names. I looked them up.
And who's Steve?
No points. Steve, I just thought is, he's a great friend of the show. And also, I just like that name for a dog. I love naming animals after like human names. I think it's really funny.
Like Kevin.
Kevin's a great name for a dog. And just like, Kevin.
Home Alone.
It's great. Yeah. So I love human names for dogs. Okay. Finish the sentence. Betty White almost turned down the film because she'd have to spend 10 weeks away from her A, family, B, new grandchild, C, her gin rummy group, or D, her golden retriever.
Oh, I wish it was C. I don't think that's right.
I'm going with...
He loved poker and games.
This is very dog-centric. I'm going to go with D, the golden retriever.
I'm going to go A, family.
The answer is D, her golden retriever.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
She loves animals. She didn't want to be away from her dog.
Golden retriever along?
I don't know what they ended up doing, but she didn't want to spend that time away from her dog, which I can relate because I also don't want to spend time away from my dog.
Fair.
Where are we with points? Who's got any points?
That put me on the board.
Oh, yay.
No, I think Ken, you're up 2-1. I'm pretty sure.
I'm up 2-1? Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think.
Okay.
Did Ken get points for that first one? He was like close. Did you give him a point?
No.
Oh, okay. Then we're tied.
I think we're tied. I only got one. I only got the name of the dog.
Well, this will be our tiebreaker then. What is the Rotten Tomatoes tomato meter score closest?
To make it fair so that we don't play off each other's scores, can we either say it at the same time or
you text me?
Text you?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
This is the critic score in Rotten Tomatoes?
Tomato meter. You asked
right,
me,
Ken.
you don't know.
For our listeners.
Critic score.
Tomato meter. Ken, you have my phone number, right?
I will say we didn't talk about this at all. It has a stellar cast. It's like only famous people,
right?
Which is, but I don't know if that really gives it any credit.
Does it matter?
Yeah,
because the movie was less than.
All right, I'm going with that.
Okay, me too. All right.
Okay, let's see what we have.
I feel like I should have gone lower, but I guess we'll see.
Ken is correct, or closest, with 43%.
Oh, wow.
CJ guessed 36%. It's 45%.
Dang.
That is the correct total.
Okay.
So Ken gets that point.
I typed 42 and deleted it. I was like, that seems too high even.
Well, you still wouldn't have come as close, but
yeah,
closer.
Dang.
So we have a winner with Ken.
Wow, it feels so good to hear that for myself for once.
Out of just fun, what do you think the audience score was?
I feel like it's higher, but not much higher. 50%, somewhere around there. I don't know.
I think still lower. I think like 40 is still right. Like 41.
Audience score 68%.
Boo!
I know. Who in the what? Who rated this movie?
Yeah. No. Bad.
Well,
Incorrect.
It's wrong.
It might be time for us to rate this movie because it's time for ratings.
You've heard us debating. We know you've been waiting. So now it's time to hear our ratings.
Meg, we're on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you rate the proposal for you?
For me, give it a 4.5.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was
And
not
why is it not
good.
a 10 out of 10?
It's not a good movie. It's not a terrible movie. It's not good.
Yeah.
I love me some Sandy Bullock. I love the entire cast, really, but I just wish it was better writing. I think that's where it fell a little flat because they could have done a really nice job with it if it was just better story overall. I don't regret watching it. I don't think it was a complete waste of my time. So that's why I give it a little 0.5 there at the end there.
Nice.
Okay.
get to watch it and relax. So that was a good night, but yeah, not a good movie.
Fair.
All right. CJ.
For me, I think, like a 4. This is a pretty not great movie. I just want to it's a rom-com movie, but let's remember how it starts. It's very predatory. She is fully blackmailing him to marry her. That is bad. I don't care if they fall in love. You spent 3 years being tortured by this woman. It doesn't change in the matter of days. I don't care who you are. That's not how this works. It's not how it should work. What message are we saying? So, 4. Pretty bad.
Is it full-on blackmail if, he was like, during the initial questioning, he was like, oh, yeah, she is going to promote me. So he kind of fired it back, too. So
kind of a tit for tat.
A little bit. They were both gaining something out of it while, breaking the law and possibly risking jail time. But no, I agree. It was super weird. Like, didn't like it.
Yeah.
Good rating. Kenneth, your rating, sir.
You're not gonna like my rating.
Oh no, it's a 7.
Because it's a 10 out of 10. I'm just kidding. It's higher than you guys though. I'm gonna give it a 5.5. I actually kind of like how absurd this movie is. I think it's funny because of that. I don't know. I feel like I would watch it again.
More than Shotgun Wedding. You thought this is a better movie than Shotgun Wedding. Wow.
I liked this more than Shotgun Wedding. Yeah.
Couldn't disagree more.
I think it's funny how it doesn't make sense why that's the ending. I think it's funny how they really try to, or don't even try to get there. I don't know. I just think it's a curious, interesting, quirky, kind of funny movie. And I can even get past the Betty White dancing scene because that's also fits with the kind of absurdity of the movie. So
wow, you were just along for the ride. Wow.
Yeah,
it was just along for the ride. I had a good time. Yeah.
Now, I guess not that this matters, but it does seem like the parts you're enjoying, I don't think was intentional. Like, I don't think they were trying to be funny on those parts, but you're like, oh, this movie is dumb and funny for that reason. Yeah.
I know that's why it's not higher. Like, if they had leaned into it actually as like a spoof on a rom-com almost, right? Yeah. Where like the entire time they intentionally make it so that at the very end they're like, oh no, we do love each other, and everyone around them is like, what? Why? Because they kind of get there with the dad, right? And the dad's like, I don't get it, but he's also a little bit out of touch with his son, so they don't totally get there. But if they had leaned in, this would be higher. This would be like maybe like a 7 or an 8 even. I don't know. But yeah, for now, 5.5. Obviously not a great movie, but still okay. Not bad.
Okay. Wow.
Do you think that Ryan Reynolds' character ever agreed to take on the family business, or does he just doesn't, right? Like that could have been the sequel, right? Where he's like, okay, Dad, I guess I'll take on the family business and be an editor. I want to have it all. Oh. I don't know.
In the family business being you own every business in that town.
That's
the family
everything.
Business. You have a monopoly.
Rich.
Right.
And he's like, no. I'd rather be an editor. Well, you could still do that and also be like super rich and then publish your own books. Like, what is the downfall here, my man? I don't understand why the struggle of just like, I don't want to be like you, Dad.
Yeah. You are the entire economy for that town.
Literally.
Can't do anything else.
Every store has your last name on it. You live
Everyone
in this
is employed by
big-ass
you.
house.
Yeah.
Just wanting for nothing. No, I'd rather live in New York.
If they had gone that route, they would have introduced more of a potential with Gert, I feel like. Because the whole reason he didn't end up with Gert was because he wanted to move to New York and become an editor. If at any point he was entertaining staying home, they should have played out more of the Gert side of the potential there, right?
I still can't get over that that's her name.
So.
Gert.
I can't. Every time you're saying it, I'm just going like, ugh.
I know. They cast like a beautiful woman in her role, but her name is Gert.
Gert.
I don't know.
Awful.
Well, there you have it, folks.
I think we can all agree this is a great movie. Meg, thank you for picking it. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me. It was fun.
thank you for running trivia. It was fun to play and win. This is the reason why I don't play trivia that often, is because I just dominate, guys. So
I want to credit you for multiple choice questions. Those are way better than these open-ended, like, name a movie.
Noted for the next time. I like to mix it in. I like to have different options, but when most of the trivia I can find on the movie isn't actually interesting at all, then you gotta just kind of make it fun.
The dog name one was fantastic. I love that one.
That was my favorite one. I looked up a bunch of common names for husky.
Steve.
That was on there.
You didn't do this time, but when you do trivia, my favorite questions of yours are the conversational, open-ended questions.
The Fast and Furious
up
ones.
To the person asking to choose the answer.
Those are great.
I'm so glad you like that. I feel like I do only do that on the Fast and Furious ones because the movies are absolutely so ridiculous that debating them and trying to make sense out of all of that chaos is so fun, and it's really fun to hear your guys' responses. But yeah, I don't want to take away from the sanctity that is Fast and Furious and put that in another lame movie, but I will keep that in mind and try to.
I feel like that might have fit though, right? Because this movie's pretty absurd as well.
Oh, you would put it up there as absurd as Fast and Furious franchise?
No, I would not. No. Well, once again, Meg, thank you for joining us. Do you have any words of wisdom at the end here?
Be nice to each other and spay and neuter your pets.
Okay.
I like it.
That's so weird. I just watched a Netflix documentary about this one guy who was able to game the system about The Price is Right.
Yeah.
Did you watch that, CJ?
No, I've heard of it though. Yeah, that this guy, he nailed every single prize or knew it to the dollar.
Because they repeat the same products that they put up that you're supposed to guess the price for. And you just had a whole database of the ones they've done previously. And so he just memorized all of those, and he knew exactly the price of all the things that were up because they show the same ones over and over. It's really interesting. Worth a watch, and a short, too. Forget what it's called, though. So good luck.
Yeah, the price is wrong. Is that it?
Price is wrong, Bob.
Did you watch Pepsi Where's My Jet? Pepsi Give Me My Jet?
Pepsi Where's My Jetsy?
No, I've only seen the trailer for that, too. Yeah.
I didn't watch it either, but every time I say I call Pepsi, Where's My Jetsy? So.
I like that.
I don't know.
The Price is Right movie is called The Perfect Bid, The Contestant Who Knew Too Much. It's on Netflix, if anyone's curious.
It almost sounds like it's a true crime thriller. He knew too much.
And that's where things took a turn.
There you go.
Well, CJ, what do we have to plug?
You can follow us on all the things at Overtalking Pod. Email us like actor Wayne Knight did at overtalkingpod@gmail.com. Call or text us at USACat1591.
Oh no, they're here. Blom! The Overtalking Overlords have arrived. They are our ghastly, otherworldly landlords who show up at the end of every episode. Remind me to remind you, if you like the show, please go on Apple Podcasts or Spotify and rate and review. Reviews are what help people find this podcast. Also, we spend no money on advertising. So, if you like the show, please tell a friend and spread the word. We'd really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
And as we always say, oh, skeet, skeet, motherfucker.
Bye.
Bye.
This episode of the Overtalking Podcast was produced by Ken and CJ, edited by CJ. This week's special guest was me, Meg. Music by Justin Peters, logo by Nate Richards. Check out Nate's work on Instagram at Nate Richards Designs.